The tatami mat is cold under your knees. You've been kneeling for 40 minutes. Your legs are numb below the knee. You don't shift your weight. You don't look up. You keep your eyes on the floor and your hands flat on your thighs. Around you, older men talk. Their voices are low. You understand maybe half of what they say. Not because of the language, you know the language. Because they speak in a register you haven't learned yet. References you don't have. Names you don't recognize. You are the youngest person in this room by at least 10 years. You are also, without question, the least important. The room smells like cigarette smoke and lacquered wood. A single lamp in the corner gives off yellow light. Outside, rain taps against the window. Inside, no one acknowledges you. You wait. You understand nothing yet. But you understand this much. You are here. And being here is everything. Stage 1. Wakashu, the newcomer. Your name in this building is not your name. They call you by a number for the first 2 weeks. Not cruelly. Practically. You are not yet a person in this system. You are a position. A slot. A body that has been accepted for evaluation. You run errands. You clean. You stand outside doors in the cold. You carry envelopes to addresses you don't ask about. You pick up packages from men who don't look at you. You return and report and say only what you were asked to say, nothing more. One evening, a senior man named Toto watches you fold a jacket that was left on a chair. He watches you for a long time. You don't rush. You fold it correctly. You place it carefully. He says nothing. But the next morning, you are given a real task for the first time. But real. You understand that you are being watched constantly. Not with suspicion. With assessment. Everything you do is information about what you might become. You act accordingly. Stage 2. Learning the bones. Your direct superior is a man called Kenji. Kenji is 28. He has a scar across his right hand from a discipline ceremony 3 years ago. He doesn't talk about it. You don't ask. Kenji teaches you through action, not instruction. He takes you to meetings and you sit in the corner. He handles a dispute with a shopkeeper and you watch his hands, his voice, how he applies pressure without raising his volume. You begin to understand the first real rule of this life. Loudness is weakness. Everything here is done quietly. You learn the hierarchy from the bottom up. Below the boss, the oyabun, there are lieutenants, then senior members, then mid-level men, then men like Kenji, then men like you. Each layer owes absolute loyalty to the layer above. This is not metaphorical loyalty. It is demonstrated daily in every interaction. You learn the second rule. The organization is a family. Oyabun means father. Kobun means child. These are not casual words. They describe a relationship with real weight and real obligation. You learn the third rule, the one no one says directly, but that you understand by watching. Every favor creates debt. Every debt must be honored. The entire structure runs on this. You file all of this away. You survive the first year. Stage 3. The ceremony. On a Tuesday morning in November, you are called into the main room. The senior men are seated. The oyabun, a man named Yamamoto who you have seen only twice, sits at the head of the room. He is 60, compact, with the specific stillness of a man who hasn't needed to prove anything in a very long time. You kneel. Salt and sake are placed before you. The ritual is performed. Words are spoken that formalize what has been building for a year. You are no longer a prospect. You are a kobun, a full member. When you rise, Kenji meets your eyes briefly. The smallest nod. From him, that is an embrace. You feel the weight of what you've entered. Not fear. Something more serious than fear. Responsibility. Obligation. You have given something today that cannot be taken back. You understand that clearly. And you accept it. Stage 4. Building a name. The years that follow are years of construction. You build a reputation the way a craftsman builds something. Slowly, through consistent quality, through showing up exactly when you're supposed to and delivering exactly what you promised. You manage a small protection territory. 3 blocks of businesses near the harbor. You collect monthly payments. You resolve disputes when they arise. You are fair but firm. Word gets around that your territory runs cleanly. Kenji notices. Other senior men notice. Yamamoto hears your name mentioned twice in a single month. That is significant. You take on a young newcomer of your own. His name is Ryu. He is 19, eager, and makes small mistakes that you correct quietly, the way Kenji corrected yours. You find that you understand the system better by teaching it. You are 26 years old. You have 3 men who answer to you. You have a real name in this building now. Stage 5, Wakagashira, the lieutenant. The promotion comes after a territorial dispute that you resolve without escalation. A rival group pushed into the eastern edge of your territory. Not aggressively, probing. Testing. Looking for weakness. You respond through channels, through quiet negotiation, through demonstrating clearly that the cost of continuing will exceed the value of what they're reaching for. They withdraw. No violence. No disruption. Yamamoto calls you in personally. He speaks for less than 3 minutes. He tells you that you will be taking responsibility for a larger district. That 3 sub-leaders will now report to you. That you will attend senior meetings. He doesn't ask if you're ready. Ready is irrelevant. You are chosen, which means you will be ready. You bow deeply. You leave the room carrying more weight than you brought in. The senior meetings are different from anything below them. Decisions made in these rooms affect hundreds of people and millions of yen. Business operations, territorial agreements, relationships with politicians and police officials who understand that certain arrangements benefit everyone involved. You listen more than you speak. This is still the right move. You are the newest voice in the room. You contribute when you have something precise and valuable to offer. The other lieutenants watch you, evaluate you, the same way you once watched them. You feel their assessment and you don't flinch from it. You earn your seat slowly. That is the only way to earn it. Stage 6, Power and its Edges. You are 33. You control significant territory. You manage 40 men across 4 districts. You have business relationships, legitimate ones, construction and hospitality, that operate alongside the darker operations. Real power feels different from what you imagined when you were kneeling on that cold tatami floor. It feels like weight. Every decision you make affects the men beneath you. Their incomes, their safety, their futures in the organization. When you make a good call, they never know it. When you make a bad one, everyone knows it. You make very few bad ones. But you make one. A man named Ishida approaches you with a business proposition. He represents outside investors who want to move money through your territory's construction operations. The numbers are large. The arrangement seems clean. You approve it without pushing deep enough. 3 months later, you discover that Ishida has connections to a rival family. That the investment is a method of establishing financial tentacles in territory that belongs to Yamamoto's organization. You have been used. You go to Yamamoto before he hears it from someone else. You present the situation fully. You take responsibility completely. You offer solutions. Yamamoto listens without expression. The silence afterward is the longest of your life. Then he speaks. He tells you that the mistake was serious. He tells you that how you handled it, immediately, directly, with full accountability, is the reason you will survive it. He tells you that a man who hides his errors has chosen himself over the family. A man who surfaces them has chosen correctly. The Ishida connection is severed. The outside investors are removed. The man who introduced you to Ishida quietly leaves the city. You carry the lesson permanently. You never approve anything again without knowing it completely. Stage 7, The Rival. His name is Mori. He is your age. He rose through a different branch of the family, came up under a different lieutenant, built his territory differently than you built yours. He is talented. You respect that. You also recognize clearly that you are competing for the same future position. Yamamoto is aging. The question of succession exists, even if no one says it aloud. Everyone feels it. Every senior decision, every assignment, every small gesture of trust from Yamamoto is analyzed for signal. Mori operates on the edge of acceptable. He takes risks that produce results, but they are the kind of risks that could one day produce catastrophe instead. You watch this pattern. You don't comment on it publicly. You don't need to. You wait. You focus on your own operations. You keep your territory clean. You build relationships with the city officials who matter. You maintain the discipline of the men beneath you. 3 years pass. Mori has a situation that goes wrong publicly, a confrontation that draws police attention and newspaper coverage that the organization cannot afford. It damages his standing severely. You feel no satisfaction in this. You feel only the reminder that this life punishes recklessness eventually. Always eventually. Stage 8. You are 41 years old when Yamamoto names you. The ceremony is private. The senior men are present. The formality of it is complete, traditional, exact in every detail. You receive the title the way the organization has given titles for generations, with gravity, with ritual, with the full understanding that what is given is also a burden. You sit where Yamamoto sat. You feel the room differently from this chair. Every man in it is now your responsibility. Not just professionally. According to the code you accepted at 22, kneeling on cold tatami with numb legs and no understanding of what you were entering, these men are your family. Their problems are your problems. Their failures reflect on you. Their loyalty is the most valuable thing you possess. You understand now what Yamamoto carried all those years. You understand why he moved so slowly and spoke so quietly. The weight of this position cannot be lifted quickly. It can only be carried steadily. Stage 9. The truth of it. You are 54. You sit in the same room where you first knelt as a boy with numb legs and no name. The tatami is new. The lamp is different. But the room is the same. You have spent 32 years inside this structure. You have built things that lasted and lost things you couldn't protect. You have made decisions that you stand behind and decisions that visit you at 3 a.m. in a way that never fully resolves. You think about the men who started with you. Where they ended up. Some rose. Some left cleanly. Some didn't leave at all. They simply stopped appearing, and their absence was absorbed by the organization the way water absorbs a stone. You think about Ryu, your first Koban. He runs his own territory now. Clean operation. You are proud of him in the specific, wordless way this life allows pride. You think about what you gave to get here. Freedom. A certain kind of normal life that was never available to you once you entered this room the first time. Relationships that couldn't survive what you were. A version of yourself that existed before this place shaped you into something else. You don't regret it, but you see it clearly. That is perhaps the final thing this life teaches. Not when you're young and climbing and hungry, but when you're sitting in the chair with the full weight on your shoulders. It teaches you to see clearly. A young man is shown into the room. He kneels on the tatami mat. His hands are flat on his thighs. His eyes are on the floor. He is the youngest person in this room by at least 10 years. He is also the least important. For now. You study him the way Toto once studied you folding a jacket. You say nothing. You watch. You wait. The room is quiet. Outside, rain taps against the window. It always rains on the days that matter.